figure skaters ironing, frothy chipmunk, and seasonal depression. 2 of those things are in this video. One of those things I have. What if I told you a house chore could be an extreme sport? What if I told you there was a world championship held for a house chore? Hi, I'm Mangochi, and to the Mango Muster I welcome you to the video that no one asked for, where I look into the dangerous sport of extreme ironing. I specifically want to look at the Pressing for Glory documentary produced by Channel 4. Now let me tell you something. The whole time I watched this doc, I kept thinking to myself, how is this a thing? Is this a dream? Why has no one told me about extreme ironing? Extreme ironing is an extreme sport where people take a piece of clothing and an ironing board and an iron, and they go to a remote location and they iron. Extremely. The sport was invented by Phil Shaw, an Englishman. This is easily the best thing the English have created since the phrase, Bob's your uncle. Son, supper's ready.
Yes, Father. Well, I've just got this homework here. I've got a family tree to fill in. I'll be downstairs right after.
Alright, just fill it in as quick as you can. Food's getting cold, and Bob's your uncle.
Papa? Papa, what'd you say? Bob's our uncle. Bob? Or is that just something we're saying at the end of sentences now? Or was Bob really our uncle? Papa?
Phil Shaw came up with the idea of extreme ironing when, well, I'll let him explain it.
Condé Nast Traveller and BBC News Online's covered us, and the local papers have covered us, and we even got on the Time website at one point. Well, basically, it started about 5 years ago now. I came home from work, it was a sunny day, and I much more preferred the idea of going out rock climbing, but I had a pile of ironing to do. So I took my iron outside into the back garden and got an extension cord and tied it up to the house and ironed a few items of clothing. And then my flatmate came back and asked what I was doing, and I told him I was extreme ironing, and he said, well, that would be a great new sport, and that was really the birth of it, really.
I mean, come on, what else do you need? I don't know if you noticed, but Steam is his ironing name, and ironing names are a thing. Meet Starch.
Ever since I met Steam, and he explained the kind of the art and the beauty of it, as well as the extreme sports side, and the sort of pleasure you get from starting out, you know, just off a tree. Or
meet Iron Man and meet Iron Matron. What's your ironing name? Put it in the comments. I'll put my name in the comments as well. I mean, this feels like a spoof. This feels like it's not a real thing. This documentary feels like someone is playing a trick on you, but I assure you, it's real. Now it's time to meet Fair.
I'm pleased to say that I was there from the beginning, really, when Steam started it all off. And similar to Tyranny, I have a sort of memory of sort of being in North Wales, and
it's actually not pronounced Fair on the periodic table. F-E.
It's actually not pronounced. Nobody cares, man. Listen to me. Nobody cares.
So Steam had been throwing an iron about.
Yes, it was iron hurling, and in Wales. There's quite a few of us around, actually, and Starch joined in as well, and they're just throwing the irons about.
I love that the people being interviewed are seriously answering these questions. This might just be the best documentary ever, because even the narration is incredible.
Top athletes, big corporate sponsors, and a mass of crumpled laundry. It's time to decide who's top of the pile in extreme ironing.
But I took that.
Members of the British squad are training for the freestyle event. They've been developing some new moves, but will it be enough to see off the foreign competition? There is a fear among the squad that, like cricket and football, extreme ironing will prove to be yet another British sport at which we are humiliatingly beaten by foreigners.
There are 2 central conflicts in the documentary. One is England's extreme ironing squad prepping for the World Championship. The other I'll tell you in a bit, because I don't think you'll believe me just yet.
Over at Steam's house, he and his girlfriend Short Fuse have obtained a video featuring the impressive German ironing squad.
The documentary also has what I believe to be an original and outstanding score. Can you just imagine a conductor telling an orchestra? Yes, I've got some good news for you guys today. Thankfully, we've secured our next project.
What is it?
What is it? It's with an extreme ironing documentary.
We couldn't hear you. What was that?
Extreme ironing documentary. No complaints. You guys know that we give it our all, no matter what the work is. Whether it's Barney versus Batman or Frothy Chipmunk 6, we give it our all. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ironing can be dangerous even in the domestic environment, but in circumstances like this, it is often necessary to take...
Excellent, excellent. Now give me something a bit more James Bond. 3, 2, 1, go. For a lot of the documentary, you're thrown off with what's coming next. But some scenes in the doc go exactly the way you think a scene in a documentary about extreme ironing would go.
This is a so-called UL drop test. So we test the irons when they fall down, how stable they are, and we can make sure that they are stable when they fall down and they can completely be used again.
And don't get me started at the unexpectedly great composition of some of these shots. I mean, look at these hiking shots. The camera just doesn't end up there by accident. There's careful planning that goes into these shots. Now look at this delicious shot of the people talking as the vacuum is in the foreground. Now why is there a vacuum placed prominently? It's because of the other conflict going on.
Fed up with ironing, and so, in this coffee shop, a new white goods sport was invented.
I'll let my guy explain it in this pleasantly blocked clip.
I think the main problem with extreme vacuumings is that it's trying to alter the outdoors. I think you take extreme ironing out of there, you don't actually change anything outdoors at all, whereas with extreme vacuuming, you're trying to make it clean and trying to make it into something it isn't and something it shouldn't be.
You heard that right. He said extreme vacuuming. The other conflict involves a sect of passionate vacuumers that believe the extreme house chore favored by the gods is extreme vacuuming.
Which sport will be regarded by the white goods industry as the premier extreme household activity? Vacuuming or ironing? Whoever wins, cleans up.
Whoever wins cleans up. I slow clapped in my room when I heard this. Throughout the movie, the narrator is having a field day. I just love this doc. Sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like... By now, I'm surprised you haven't clicked off this video to go watch this documentary, because personally, this doc was a canon event for me. The seriousness of this is unprecedented, and my lovely ducks that definitely want to be here appreciate it too. Okay, everyone, I have some bad news and good news. The bad news is Frothy Chipmunk 6 was deemed inappropriate for wide release. In the first test screenings, the critics said we were nuts. So there will not be a Frothy Chipmunk 7. Yeah, we found out the froth wasn't coming from the mouth. The good news is Mangochi needs music for this next part of the video. The first thing I need you to do is click the subscribe button. I've been trying to reach 1,000 subscribers for the past 2 years, but the goal has eluded me. Bring back the ironing figure skaters. Discouraged at times, but I will persevere. Like this man who is ironing in the river. A drenched shirt doesn't stop him from ironing with an unplugged iron. No, 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 my friend. Logic doesn't shake this man's resolve. Next, I want to highlight Dan Campbell, who signed up for my Mansa Musa Mango tier, a tier on my Patreon that gets your name on the screen. You could get your name on the screen too if you signed up for my top 2 tiers. Signing up to my Patreon will also get you access to some commentary I've made on some of my own videos and 2 radio mixes I released exclusively for my Patreon. So how does the story end? Who wins the championship? And which housing chore reigns supreme? Extreme ironing or extreme vacuuming? Well, you'll have to watch the documentary to find out. I've posted a link to the documentary in the description. I couldn't find the documentary online with any streamer, or I couldn't find a place where you could buy a digital copy of the documentary. The only version I could find was this free version posted on YouTube. But if you know of a place where you can, buy it, please let me know and I'll put it in the description instead. Honestly, I don't know why I'm just hearing about this, and why does it only have 10,000 views? It's been up for 6 years. Everybody should go and watch this 40-minute documentary. I promise you, it's entertaining. Although extreme ironing isn't as prominent as it once was, the extreme ironing rabbit hole is surprisingly deeper than you think. Thanks for watching. I don't have a signature phrase for signing off, so I'm gonna end it with a clip of an extreme vacuumist describing a vacuum like they're in a fit check video. Don't forget to subscribe, and Bob's your uncle.
It's a classic, the old bag on the back, and a nice light that flashes and lights up when we're hoovering away with it. 4 speeds and brush setting as well.